I have a go-to bottle of wine. I go to Roeder often. I know what I'm getting. I know I can trust it, and I know I'm going to have a fabulous experience. Okay.
Exactly.
As with a few other brands, I want to clear. There's a few. I have some of my favorites. Roeder's certainly one of them. Let's talk a little bit about when you talk about reputation. There's 3 crus of grapes in Champagne that are qualified to be bottled into a champagne and labeled a champagne. Roeder, with its long history of centuries now, has some control and some influence over purchasing of grapes that come from those Grand Cru and those vineyards that are qualified to sell into champagne bottles. Okay, talk to a little bit about those 10,000 vineyards and tell us a little bit how Roeder and the other houses, the other popular houses, maintain their quality with those vineyards.
A smart house will have a long-standing reputation with the various growers. They will ask for various specifications, whether they want acidity at certain levels, sugar at certain levels, yield at certain levels, and they will work very, very closely with the growers so that they can maintain the quality of the grape that they are going to turn into champagne. It's what I said earlier.
They've got their name on it.
They have their name on it.
Not the vineyards got their name on it.
And you cannot make great wine unless you have great grapes to begin with. So it's to the advantage of the grower, who's going to be paid a premium, and it's to the advantage of the producer, whose name is going to be on the bottle, to get into this win-win situation.
I see. Okay. So when I buy a bottle of Louis Roeder champagne, I know that somebody's taken the professionalism to seek out the vineyards that are to their quality standards in every bottle.
It's not only their professionalism; it's their lifestyle. It's in their blood. I mean, they feel it. And they've worked with these people. We're talking about generations working together.
So these vineyards aren't something somebody just goes out and plants in some nice hillside and bottles up some sparkling wine and says, "This is delicious, try it."
No.
That's not what this is.
No, indeed not.
Indeed not. Okay. So partially what I'm paying for is a legacy of professionalism, and a legacy of lifestyle, a legacy of reputation in this bottle.
Yes.
But that I'm not really able to get in a bottle that comes from let's say a vineyard that's only 5 or 10 years old, or an industry in a particular market around the globe that is still in a new, discoverable, an emergent agricultural area. Am I putting you on the spot here?
Well, this is where we'll differ here a little bit, because as I mentioned earlier, there's advantages and disadvantages of old world and new world technique. Oftentimes in new world, you can open up the door for maybe something to reinvent or to maybe do something a little bit better. So you still have that opportunity to experiment, to try something, and to come up with a better product. The advantage that a house like Roederer has is that they have gone through this process over centuries. Mm-hmm. And this is how they have finally weeded it out as to what is the best process to go through. Some of the new world producers, because of time frames, maybe are accelerating that a little bit, and they are not bound by tradition. Okay. They can go and try other things. So I'm not opposed to new world.
Well, your friends at Roeder have a Napa Sonoma Valley wine, right?
Actually, it's in Mendocino, up in Anderson Valley. And
love those wines.
Yes.
That's good.
Mum is located up there. Chandon is up in Domaine Chandon. So there is. How can I say, an exploring of what we can do. And oftentimes what they can learn here, they can then take back home and help improve.
So maybe they can be a little more aggressive here, take some chances, and the vineyards are certainly younger, maybe.
Well, yeah, taking chances. You know, when you take a chance in a vineyard, you're talking about a 5-year chance. It's not very quick, and so a lot of it, and that's the reason why some of the houses in Champagne are so successful for as long as they are, because they've had such a long timetable to kind of weed out some of the practices.